All right. Hello, Facebook. Hello, everybody. Today, instead of Save Yourself Sunday, today is going to be, well, Save a Life Sunday. Um, because if you haven't heard, well, there's been two really bad things that just happened. I'm not going to talk about those. There's plenty of people talking about that. I'd rather reserve comment until after everything's known about it, right? That just comes from my dad being a police officer for 38 years. I like to know everything that's going on before I comment on that. But seeing these things happen brought to mind, and a memory that popped up today, something that I wanted to discuss with everybody out there on, well, Save a Life Sunday today. And the question I pose to you is, would you be able to save a life? Would you be able to save a life if it happened? And there's all kinds of things that happen. I'm talking about car wrecks. Somebody has a heart attack in front of you. Somebody's coughing in front of you because you're cooking something at a restaurant. Earthquake happens. Fire happens. There's a lot of scenarios here, okay? The question is, not only would you be able to save your own life in these situations, which is, would you be healthy enough to actually get up and move, get out of the way, do whatever needs to be done? The bigger question is, would you be able to, like, pick somebody up and haul them out of a place? Would you? Could you? Could you pick up a kid and just run with them? Would you be able to? Would you be able to, because I've been in this situation before, would you be able to give CPR to somebody for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, waiting on ambulance to arrive, or a care flight to arrive, okay? I've got my little personal story about that. I'll tell you here in a little bit. So there's some questions I want to pose to everybody out there because, well, life isn't about you most of the time. In fact, 99.99% of the time, it ain't about you, okay? However, it is 100% about you in that moment of would you be able to do something? Would you be able to save a life? It's a big question. I know it's a big question, okay? Because you'll notice I broke out the ring again today because there are a lot of men and women out there, law enforcement, which huge thank you to law enforcement yesterday. They stepped up. I mean, the response time and everything, what they did was phenomenally amazing. Phenomenally, 6 minutes response time is incredible, okay? Huge applause to everybody in law enforcement, first responders, everybody out there for the past 2 days, okay? Incredible, absolutely incredible response on that. And so we're going to do some push-ups today at the end, okay? Not just for 22 kills. It is for 22 kill, but 22 kill helps out with all military first responders, everybody, okay? I'm going to talk a little bit about the first responders, what they're going, what some of them are going through, all right? Not that I am one, but I lived with one for most of my life, right? And he's been through a lot, all right? How much? Well, my dad's been shot, okay? That's how much, all right? Making sure the public is safe. So, let's start with this whole, would you be able to save a life? If the situation arose, whatever the situation is, okay? We got car wrecks all over the place, all right? Would you be able to pull somebody out of a car? Would you be able to do CPR on them? Have you been to CPR? Do you have instruction for that? Okay? If you haven't, go get it. But be prepared, because the first time you take a CPR class and you're sitting there and you're working on that dummy, and believe me, that dummy's a lot easier to work on than a person, okay? A whole lot less resistance in that dummy. And they get you pushing. If it's a really good class, they're gonna have you push for a while, just so you get a taste of being there over top of somebody. Don't push like that, people. By the way, it's a body thing. Those arms stay locked out, and you pump away. Okay, but could you do that for a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes? Hopefully, you have somebody there to alternate out with. Okay, every time you breathe, somebody else gets in and starts pumping, and switch, because you will eventually wear out. Okay, but could you give somebody the Heimlich? Could you take and drag somebody to a safe location, safe area? If you're out hiking on a trail, would you be able to pick somebody up and carry them for a little bit? Okay? You're running in a marathon. If you're running a marathon, I know you're in shape, but running and be able to carry somebody when you're running. Hey, Dave, yes, very good. Being able to run is great. Can you carry somebody while you run? Probably not. Okay, I'm going to get to some things for all this in a little bit. I'm leading up, so bear with me, follow with me here for a second. So there's those things. If you don't do anything, could you do any of those? All right, let alone saving yourself in bad incidents. Would you be able to save 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 people? However many, or just one? Could you even save one? All right. If the answer is I don't know, well, it's time to reevaluate what you're doing. Okay. Like I said, it's not always about you. In fact, it's usually about somebody else. And could you do that? Okay, we're all looking for a savior out there to help everybody. Well, guess what? When times arise, you get to throw that little S on your chest, but you got to be up for it. You got to be ready for it. You got to be able to do that, okay? Because if you throw that S on your chest and you're offering hope, but you can't give it, what happens at that point? Right? So, big breath in, and here's the biggie. You got to be ready. You have to train. And that doesn't mean getting these, okay? Seriously, all the other cool stuff that you see in here, and all the Instagram videos, doing all the booty butt lift stuff that's going, because there's a lot of it, okay? That's all well and good, but the reason you're in here doing, the main reason for doing this is 1, to help save your life, but it's 2, so you can help others if that arises. If you have to track someone, if you have to give CPR, if you have to, whatever the thing is, doing this, coming in and taking care of yourself, is the best way possible to go out and help take care of other people when that need arises, and it probably will. Here, personal story, I'm going to share a little something with you. And this was coming up on almost 15 years ago when this happened, okay? So I'm headed to Oklahoma with my fiance at the time. We're stopped, okay? We're on 35. We're stopped. Why? Construction. Construction happens, right? We're stopped for construction. I hear brakes squealing, and I hear a huge explosion behind us, okay? Boom. And I see in my rearview mirror, literally an explosion behind us, okay? I see the impact, and it's about 6 cars behind us. And she's like, what was that? I was like, just hold on, brace yourself. Luckily, we had enough room in front of us and everybody behind us was hard on their brakes, so the impact didn't hit us. We got a little tiny tap, and it pushed us forward a little bit. Okay, no big deal. Well, we're stuck. We're on a ramp, okay? You've been on the overpasses and stuff like that on 35, right? Okay? We're on a ramp. There's no on or off. You're just sitting there. So we all get out. And it's kind of rainy drizzly out there, right? So we get out. We go check, see what's happens. See what happened to this minivan that got plowed into. Some kind of truck, never hit brakes, rammed into the back of this thing. And that minivan was destroyed, okay? The back of it was destroyed. Family of, 5 in there in the minivan. So we had to crack open the doors. We had to drag the people out. There was no way for ambulance to get to us, so they had to care flight in. This is like a 30, 40-minute process, okay? We're getting the family out. Kids are out. Most everybody's fine, but there's 2 kids that were not fine. One of them, I personally helped get out of the minivan. Get them on the ground, get them covered, and immediately start CPR. And for 30 minutes, having to work on this kid. 30 minutes. Okay? Working on this kid. Trying to give his family some hope. I don't know if he's gone or not. All I know is there's nothing going on there. All right? But I'm still going, which, rule of thumb, if you don't know, when you're doing CPR, you do not stop. Period. Okay? Period. You do not stop until EMS gets there. There is no stopping on that at all, no matter what. One, you might potentially keep that person alive, okay? Because all you're doing is you're pumping blood. You turn into their artificial heart. You are their heartbeat for that period of time. You're pumping that blood. You're pumping oxygen, okay? So you're doing it for that reason. You're also doing it for one other really big, huge reason. You got to throw that S in their chest. And you got to give that family and those other people some hope for a good outcome, okay? Because, well, right now their world is shattered, okay? So you're having to give that to them to some degree. So you go until EMS gets there. And once EMS gets there, then you hop off. You let the pros come in and handle it, all right? It's going to be ugly, and it was ugly, all right? I'll tell you right now, it was not pretty, okay? Not a pretty scene. So the question is, would you be able to throw that S in your chest and do that? If your answer is a no, we need to get off your butt and start training, not just for your own life, but for other people's lives, to take care of other people. Because that's why we're here, all right? It doesn't matter who they are, race, color, creed. I got no time for that. Seriously, none. My dad's a police officer, my mom's a teacher. We got no time for any of that BS, okay? There's some people out there that's their whole job. They make their money off of doing that, okay? There's no time for any of that stuff. People need, you help them out. Period. All right? That's why we're here, all right? So, can you do that? Could you, if you needed to, help somebody along on a trail if they're out in a nature preserve and they go limp, whatever? Could you help them out in that time period? If there's a wreck, could you help out? If there's a fire, could you help out? If there's a large wave, could you help out? If somebody goes down the pool, could you help out? Okay, whatever the scenario is. Okay, if God forbid you're ever in a scenario where you're in a mass shooting scenario like that, could you help out? Okay, and I'm going to flip onto something here. Also, I want to mention my buddy Jeff McKissick. In fact, I'm going to post him down here because he'll probably enjoy. Well, he'll enjoy some of this. But I did a radio show. If you remember, I had a radio show several years ago. I had him on, and literally, I had him on like this week, like 5 years ago. Okay, literally this week it popped up. So I'm going to type in my good buddy Jeff McKissick here, because this next piece I'm going to get into is a real biggie, and he is an expert on this. So, my buddy Jeff, he runs a company where he does nothing but look at these issues and what you do from a response standpoint, and how to keep yourself and your family and your friends and your company safe. Okay, he's got a thing called trouble spotters, all right, which is spotting trouble before it spots you. All right. So here's my thing on this: be aware of your surroundings. Train to help people out as much as you can, and not everybody is watchful. I'm a watchful person. Grew up with my dad's a police officer, and I was just born with some ingrown traits for watching everything around me. If you've ever been around me, you know I watch everything that goes on around me. Everything. Okay? That's why I stand in the corner. I'm watching everything. But for the watchers out there, for the sheepdogs, for the people that want to help take care of everybody around them, period, no matter what, this is for you. So, well, you got to train to be ready for these things, because we're always keeping a watchful eye out, okay? And having a watchful eye is great, but you got to be able to do something about it, okay? And for everybody else out there, you need to learn to keep a watchful eye out, because stuff happens, all right? It does. I mean, especially around times of big shopping and stuff like that, okay? Tax-free weekend's coming up, all right? So there's going to be a lot of theft and other stuff going on. You got to keep your eyes peeled for all of that stuff, all right? Anytime you go out, have fun, enjoy life, but be watchful, okay? Watch for the wolves, because they are out there someplace hiding, or trying to hide, but their heads will pop up eventually. So you got to spot them before they spot you, right? Because the best way to keep a wolf from coming after you is, well, to spot it and nullify that thing, right? So, if you don't look like a sheep, it ain't gonna try to eat you. um, but be mindful of your surroundings. Watch everything. Make sure you're around people that do watch everything, okay? And make sure that they can take care of stuff, all right? Um, and for everybody out there that carries, okay? This is Texas. My dad's a police officer, and he's fine with people carrying. But here's the thing: with if you are going to carry, there's training in here. You better be training in here if you're going to carry. I'm telling you right now, you better have your butt in here, training in here if you're going to carry. You're taking on a major responsibility. Okay, if you're going to carry, you're taking on a huge responsibility. Okay, it's not just your personal safety; it's everybody else's. Which means you better be at the range training like you're going to be on John Wick 4. The movie's coming out, by the way. But seriously, you better be training like you're going to be on John Wick 4. Why? Gun control means hitting your mark. Period. No mistakes. Okay? You gotta be mindful. You gotta keep everything about you and under times of stress. All right? Police officers train for this a lot. Why? Because they're under stress 24/7, 365. They, from the time they step out their door till they come back home, they're out. It's a whole different mindset. Okay, completely different mindset because they are watching everything. If they're good at it and are supposed to be doing it, there are some people there on police force that should not be. Just want to put that out there. Probably more now than previously because of stuff. Probably the stuff. The reason why my dad was ready to get out of not being a police officer anymore. But if you want to carry, it's a major responsibility. With major responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility, right? Well, you've got great power, okay, to protect yourself and everybody else around you. So make sure you are training and you're able to handle the stress, and you have really good gun control. Like I said, that means hitting your mark every time, no matter what. Okay, get out and train, and train and train and train and train and train and train and train. Get your butt in here, train and train and train and train. Why? Because you're gonna have to. Well, you're gonna have to do everything. Okay. Police response time 6 minutes, which was awesome, but that's 6 minutes. That's a lot of time, man. 6 minutes is a lot of time. Okay, it's a whole lot of time. However, you can trim that down to a minute or less, even better. Okay, I know somebody's gonna get in here and golf with me about this, but a good guy with a gun can end the situation very, very, very quickly and efficiently. Okay, before things get out of hand. All right, so there's my little thing on that. Remember, that's police officers. That's my context where I'm coming from. I grew up around that. All right, so there's the thing. Make sure you have the ability to save a life outside of your own. Okay, just one will work. That will change their life in their world forever and their families. Saving one life affects tens, of 20s, of 30s, of hundreds of people because of all the people that person knows. All right, it's a huge thing to be able to do that. And so, back to my own personal story. Sadly, I don't think I got to on that one. I really don't. I don't know what the outcome was, but I don't think it was good. So, outside of that, I just want to say to all the families out there affected by everything, because there's a lot of stuff going on. Outside of what you see reported in the news, there's a lot of stuff that happens every day in every city. Okay? Every day in every city, things happen. All right? Why? Because life happens. Thing is, keep your eyes open, be aware, and the more people that we have with their eyes open and are aware, less things will happen. One last little thing here. Keeping your eyes open and being aware. Keep your eyes open and be aware of the people around you, okay? A lot of things can be headed up if we just pay attention to the people around, literally around us. That means your family, that means your friends. Stay in contact with them. If you see some kid is having some issues, it's time to address those, okay, before they get out of hand. And a lot of people don't want to do that. They don't want to step on toes. Well, you know, sometimes stepping on a toe will save a lot of other parts out there. So that's it for today. It's a biggie, I know. So the big question: can you save a life when time calls? Can you throw the S on your chest? If the answer is I don't know, well, it's time to do something about that. And we're going to do a little test right quick. So join in with me. This is for all the first responders out there because, well, those men and women go through a lot. They got a lot of stress. They see things that nobody should ever see, okay, including the military. So this 22 is for all of them out there. Um, and join in with me because if you can't do these 22 push-ups, it's time to start. 1, to save your life. 2, so you can save the life of another. All right, so here we go. 22 push-ups. This will be for 22 kill. My people over there, great people, by the way, doing some really good work in this world. So here we go, 22 push-ups. Join in. It's just a test about your life. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Like I said, if you can't do that, man, it's time to start. Because at some point, you will have to throw that S on your chest for somebody. Make sure you can wear it. All right? Have a good day. Do something good for yourself every day. So you can do great things for other people every day. That's why we're here. All right? Love and prayers to everybody out there.